Hello everybody, this is Chaos with Thunderdog eSports, bringing you game number 5 of this Top Dog League series. This is week number 4, and DuSt really needs to start bringing the heat. They are currently down 4 games and need to extract them league points. So we will have to see whether or not they can get back into this. Now, we have had a PVZ, we've had a ZVZ, a PvP, a ZVZ, a PvP, and now we finally get to have a PVZ, which, in my opinion, is probably one of my favorite matchups here in Starcraft. So, we will have to see how this turns out. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner here on Yonsu Ladder Edition, it is going to be DuSt, MadBull. And spawning in the upper right-hand corner in the blue drunks for KLG, it is going to be Tunico. So, wow, PVZ on Yonsu should be a good one. Definitely one of my favorite maps as well. I like two-player maps. Two-player maps are just, I don't know, they're a little bit more engaging. You have to be a little bit more careful at what your opponent's doing. And it's all about scouting at that point. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Now, it does look like we are going to be seeing a gateway expand type build. Either that or maybe some cheese. We've been seeing lots of cheese, so you gotta include that. Ooh, actually, we might be seeing something very bold in that he might be going for Nexus first, as those minerals are getting very, very high. But he has not pulled. Okay, that is weird. So, a really fast delayed gateway. Okay, so yeah, it's just going to be a gateway expand, but just kind of a little bit odd. I'll be curious to see what that means. Anyways, so, DuSt is going to be going down, looking to take his expansion very, very quickly. Meanwhile, his opponent actually, I believe, went hatch first, as the hatchery has a little bit more time on than the spawning pool. And it actually does look like Tunico is going to be going for a relatively quick speed, which I find to be probably the more favorable option in this matchup, just because you never know what type of cannons might show up. Anyways, so we do have a pylon going down to start that wall off, as well as a scout for MadBull. He's going to go in, pretty much see everything that he needs to see, and be able to get out there pretty easy peasy. Meanwhile, Tunico is going to actually go and scout himself, which is kind of interesting. Now, the first Overlord is starting to make it into the base. We will see what it can see. It does see that the gateway is building something. Now, he hasn't scouted any gas, which is kind of interesting. Because this second gas is kind of the... it's very curious when the second gas goes down, because a lot of times Protest players will pretty much ignore the second gas until this expansion is done and their wall is completely done. So, now we do already have the third expansion, which is already scouted by MadBull, coming out here from Tunico. So, he's going to be in a very good, he's going to have the idea of, okay, my opponent's going for a very fast third, which means he's going to focus more and more on economy, which means this could actually be one of those builds where he's going to be very, very passive until about the 7-minute mark. We do have speed coming out and no lings on the field, so usually a handful of lings are gotten out just to get these watchtowers and at least keep tabs on things. So anyways, Tunico is going to get, put his overlords into position to get decent scouts off when he needs to. Meanwhile, looks like MadBull's just going to happily get, Stargate, which is kind of interesting and actually is not scouted so far. So very, very curious why the Stargate actually went down up in the front. A lot of times they'll put it kind of in a hidden location so as to avoid any of this Overlord scouting to happen early on. Now, full wall-off is going to be completed by the Zealot and the Gateways, so it doesn't look like any upgrades are going to be focused on here in the early game. Usually I like to throw down my Forge and then a couple Gateways to get those upgrades going really, really quick. But instead, he's going to be going for some serious tech, and gonna go do a little bit of scouting with his mothership core. So now we do have a proxy pylon coming out here in the left-hand side, so it does look like he is going to try and apply some pressure to this third base very soon, but we will have to see how much damage he's going to actually be able to do. Warp Gate is about finished, and it does look like a handful of these Overlords are probably going to get picked off. A couple lings are going to run in here and see what they can see. He's already seen the Stargate, so he's not too worried about that. First Overlord is going to go down, and it's going to supply block him a little bit. We do have a Roach Warren going down, which is an interesting choice because I would say that's actually an appropriate choice now that I think about it. Roaches, he's going to be able to get out a lot of roaches really quickly with his 3 base production, and all he really needs to do is put a handful of spore crawlers in his mineral lines to deal with any of the Phoenix harass. So I'd say overall he's in a good position to just build some units. Now, he is being a little greedy, going double Evo Chamber and droning up significantly. Now, this attack is going on at the 3rd, and there's really not a whole lot that he's going to be able to do. But we got 6 Zealots, as well as the Mothership Core, doing the damage that they need to do. And this Queen's definitely getting picked off. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, a bunch of Lings and a handful of Roaches going to be warping in. Now, we do have constant Phoenix production as well as warpings continuing to happen. And Zealots versus Lings, Zealots generally do pretty good. They're like a meat grinder. So, meanwhile, the Phoenix are going to come in here and try and get some damage done, whether it be to these Queens. Ooh, Queen is going to go ahead and get picked up without much being able to do a whole lot. Now, the Roaches are going to pop down here, and it looks like there's going to be enough to hold off these Zealots. But the Zealots are proving to do a lot of damage. So Zealots are definitely doing pretty good. I'd say overall things are looking pretty good for MadBull in this push. Now, the question of the day is, will he continue on getting Zealots, or will he start to focus on getting out a handful more like Stalkers and things like that? Because I kind of feel like the composition needs rounded out a little bit. A couple more pylons going down. He's like, I don't know what to do. Do I continue on being aggressive? Do I not? And yeah, at this point, you know, he's just giving Tunico extra time to get out more units, which I find a little bit odd. Now, Tunico is going to go ahead and try and do just a simple counterattack. Now, the question of the day is, will he be able to get a whole lot of damage done? Now, there are a lot of sentries here, as well as the first Immortal and second Immortal on the way. So he should be able to hold this off. Phoenix are getting in and trying to get some of those Overlords, but it does look like he is going to go ahead and pull back those Zealots and get himself into a good enough position to deal with any more damage. So, ooh, Lings are going to get in. No, not quite a decent enough force field. Had I come down just a little bit early, you might have gotten all those Lings. So, Phoenix is just going to chill out on the map, and this pylon on the upper left-hand side is going to go ahead and get cleaned up, so there will be no counterattacking here. And yeah, MadBull's in a pretty good position. He's looks like he's going to go ahead and take his 3rd, which is going to temporarily be denied by the Sling. And the Probe will not die, so he will get the Nexus up in a decent amount of time. And it does look like that Tunico is going to just get this Destructible Rocks down here, so he's got a little bit more mobility between bases. Looks like a Roach is going to get picked up and die to those phaser beams. So, lots of drones coming out of Tunico. So he's in a good position to take his 3rd. But the question of the day is, will he be able to deal with this push? This push is very scary. Holy cow. We've got Stalkers, we've got Sentries, we've got Zealots and Immortals. Oh my. Including the Void Ray. It's just like a whole mess or heap of hurt. Anyways, Zealots and units are going to come in here and try to take out this 3rd. Lots of damage going down. Ooh, Lings are getting a decent enough surround. Force fields are going down to try to repel a lot of that damage. Zealots doing a lot of damage. Will there be enough Lings, though? Zealots are starting to clean up a lot of the Lings, and it does look like that MadBull's going to be able to push through. And with 2 Immortals still alive, 3rd one coming back, the Roaches aren't really going to be able to do a whole lot. These Immortals just doing absolute tons damage. 10 kills on that one, 9 kills on that one. Just things are looking very, very good for MadBull to take this game and actually get Team DuSt some league points for this week. Now, he does need to be very careful not to lose too many of these units from these Lings. Lings are coming in here doing a fair amount of damage, but it looks like MadBull is going to be able to push through once again. And will there be enough? Now, this is the closest pylon to warp in, so I'd say things are still looking pretty good for MadBull as he continues on warping in, getting up his 3rd base, getting extra gateways to get his production up. And will it be enough to actually force Tunico out of the game? That is the question. So Zealot's starting to clean up the rest of these Lings, and lots more lings coming out. And yeah, it looks like right now it'll just get cleaned up for the time being. Units still being made back at the back. +1's already done. We've got +2 on the way. +2 melee is on the way for Tunico. So things are looking pretty good now. Phoenix are still doing a fair amount of damage. You got 5 kills from that, 5 kills from that, 2 from that. So roughly around 16 kills in total for these Phoenix. Now these Queens are going to come in here and deal some hurt to these Phoenix. And they might actually get cleaned up. As the Spore Crawlers do a little bit of damage, and yeah, one will survive. So yeah, I'd say things are looking pretty good for MadBull as he continues on getting up his Zealot forces and just starting to warp in some Stalkers, as well as a Warp Prism. So it does look like MadBull wants to do a little bit of harassment with his this Warp Prism. Might be able to do some damage in the main base if he can get a good enough angle. Now there are still a lot of Queens out on the field, so the Queens are definitely going to be a nice little round out point for Tunico's composition. And okay, so that's just chilling out there. This Phoenix is probably going to get cleaned up here soon enough. Maybe, maybe not. Then again, maybe not. Anyway, so Colossus coming out for MadBull. Yeah, he's just basically rounding out his composition, getting it to where he wants it to be, and we have charge already, right? No, we do not have charge. We have blink, not charge. That's really weird. He's been very, very Zealot heavy this entire game, and I kind of would have thought that charge would have been a slightly more advantageous upgrade. But anyways, Warp Prism is going to send in some Zealots as the main army is going to go up here and probably start attacking this 4th base, and probably going to take it out since Tunico's army is pretty much not in position. It's just going to basically try and deal with the army down here. So MadBull's going to get a very, very easy win at the 4th base, and actually is going to start to push at the... a very nice force field, pretty much cutting that army completely in half. A lot of those lings are going to go down very, very quickly, and that was a very epic force field. There is no doubt about it. Another force field is going to go down, and this army is not really going to be able to contribute to this engagement as Queens are falling left and right. Warp Prism is going to be warping in units. GG is going to be called. Tunico is going to go down, and it does look like that DuSt is going to take 1 game in this 5-game series. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to go ahead, if you didn't already, hit that subscriber button down in the lower left-hand corner. Also, if you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button and share with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. Get the word out that the Top Dog League series is a great series that everybody can participate in. All clans are welcome. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next game that I cast. I hope everybody enjoyed the last game here. We've got KLG going up against DuSt. KLG did a very, very fantastic job during the series. In case you missed the the first part of the series, game number 1 is going to be in the middle of the screen. Also, as mentioned before, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down in the lower left-hand corner. Greatly appreciate it. Or you can go ahead and hit the Thunderdog logo there on the left-hand side. If you are interested in checking out the content that I make, feel free to go ahead and check my YouTube channel out. I will leave an annotation with my logo just below, so you can feel free to check that out, and that would be great. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next cast.